Hello YouTube, my name is Sean Collins and welcome back to the second part of the Elf video. Sorry I had to cut off the first one, I didn't realise that I'd gone over the 10 minutes, that's how exciting the subject had been. But anyway, so John had created, as you can tell, a number of ways of building this character, and it is a process of building it to make the elf really come alive. That's understanding the very history of what elves actually are, or were, what they are in terms of the 20th century, which is the most recent period of time, capturing the feel of the traits that work best and having a mode and a method to do it, and he was then able to portray that character over time, thinking very carefully and acting the way an elf should and could act. And this is not stereotyping them, because it's how you take it and what you do with it that counts, but the way he did it is a great way to do it, because it can then help you no matter what type of elf you decide to play, because you have a history, a background, a thought process. He was racist and opinionated on certain subject matters, so against dwarves at the beginning he did have a certain amount of disgust towards their race, found them that they were not akin to nature, something that was abominable. He didn't enjoy talking to them, but realised and tolerated the dwarf that was in the party, the fighter that was in the party, tolerated him, because they have to work together. But it was a brilliant, almost Han Solo, Luke Skywalker type of bonding, type of friendship. It didn't happen naturally. They both at the beginning had a mistrust, and it was a good rub because it didn't interfere with the game. I don't mind small problems as long as ultimately what you get is the group going in a direction together and at the same time eventually working out the problems logically. And maybe those problems have never worked out, but these guys eventually found the fact that they actually became great friends, and it made a difference within their communities. And this is where I was getting to in the previous video, because part of the final story for John's character was that there was a moral dilemma that some dwarves had committed a faux pas in their woods, and it happened to be this particular race of dwarves, and this particular character was retired, although the player was still playing another character, and we still had some of the retired characters quite heavily involved in little stories that were running. And he had to approach these dwarves and find out what had actually gone on, and it left him with a difficult decision, because the reason the dwarf had come there meant that he cut his complete ties off with his friend forever and snubbed them once again, or did they somehow manage to work this out? And on this occasion he had no option but to break all ties with his friend and to save effectively what would have been a bitter rivalry between the dwarves, and perhaps even a small war, a factional war of some kind. To save that, it was better to cut all ties and act aloof and actually make it clear this could never happen again. And that's when he retired his character. It was a really good end to the characters, left it quite nicely up in the air as well, I found, in this particular game. A lot I can't really go into detail on this video because it just won't make sense, but it was a lot of fun. And hopefully what's coming through on the video, I hope, is that you're feeling that sense of what an elf is in terms of how it was played. And that's what I've been trying to get to within these sort of two videos. Apologies, it had to be split in two, but it was the only way. So I'm going to quickly recap here. It's worth, on any race video, I think, it's worth doing the research, understanding the roots of the race, what they originally were. It's worth understanding what they are now. Why have they become known as what they are in terms of literature, writing and stuff like that, because it's important. Try to find someone, if you're playing or even you're DMing, who does a good job at portraying that race. Capture that feeling and bring that into your games, and then build upon it. And remember that it's the basis of all the stuff that can come afterwards. Personally speaking, I found it invaluable because it helped me guide what the race should be, how they should be portrayed, and then it's quite nice because you can build on that, and over time the race can change. The actual dynamics of it can change depending on what comes out, and it was really good when later on things like Drow did come out, because it added that fifth column to them that added a really interesting, sinister touch to the entire genre, if you like. So all these things are important. It's the same like when you talk about there is also dark dwarves and various other things that exist out there. These things really do add. Anyway, I'm digressing a little here, and I'm going to bring it to a quick close, but I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching the video all about elves, the two videos all about elves. Thanks for taking your time out. I hope you enjoyed this little mini-series on elves. I hope you found it enlightening and of some use. Until the next time, take care of yourselves and happy gaming, and I'll see you at some point soon. Bye-bye.